My name is Elena Walsh. I'm 31 years old. And until one ordinary Monday evening, I believed I was in a relationship built on mutual respect. Not perfect, not dramatic, but stable, the kind of stable people stop questioning. I had been dating Ryan Keller for 2 years. We'd moved in together 8 months earlier. Technically, it was my apartment, my name on the lease, my credit check, my furniture. But Ryan stayed most nights long before that. By the time he officially moved in, it felt less like a decision and more like admitting what was already true. Or what I thought was true. That Monday, around 6 p.m., I was still at work finishing reports when my phone buzzed. Ryan, I need the apartment tonight. I stared at the screen, thumb hovering. That wasn't how he usually phrased things. Not, can we have the place to ourselves? Not, I'll explain later. Just, I need the apartment, I replied carefully. Me, okay, what time should I come back? The typing bubble appeared, disappeared, reappeared. Then, Ryan, not sure. Maybe stay at Chloe's. I'll text you when you can come home. My stomach tightened. Me, what's going on? His response came immediately this time. Ryan, just trust me. Don't come home and don't ask why. I read that sentence over and over. Not please, not I'm sorry, not I'll explain. Just a directive. Don't come home, don't ask why. Something about it felt rehearsed, like a line he'd practiced saying without emotion. I could have pushed back, could have demanded an explanation. Instead, I typed one word. Me, all right. And the moment I sent it, I knew my relationship had shifted into something colder. I called my friend Chloe. Can I crash at your place tonight? I asked. She paused. That bad? Probably, I said. I'll explain when I get there. I left work around 7, grabbed takeout I barely tasted, and drove across town. By 8:15, I was sitting on Chloe's couch staring into space while she handed me a glass of wine I didn't remember asking for. What happened? She asked. Ryan told me not to come home, I said flatly. My own apartment. Chloe frowned. That's not normal. I know. You think he's cheating? I don't know, I said, but I'm about to find out. When we moved in together, I'd installed a smart lock system, not because I didn't trust Ryan, or at least that's what I told myself, but because there'd been a break-in 2 floors down the year before. The app tracked every entry, time-stamped, categorized, security disguised as convenience. I opened it now. At 7:46 p.m., Ryan entered the apartment. Normal. Then at 8:01 p.m., another entry appeared. Guest access. My chest tightened. He has someone there, Chloe said quietly, looking over my shoulder. Could be anyone, I said automatically. A friend, a coworker. After telling you not to come home or ask questions, she countered. I didn't answer. I scrolled further. Our building had a directory app, residents, guests, deliveries. I checked the main entrance log. At 7:58 p.m., a guest had been buzzed in. Lauren Pierce. The name hit me like a dropped glass. Lauren Pierce, Ryan's ex-girlfriend. The woman he'd sworn was ancient history. My heart started pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. I Googled her. Married, 2 kids, lifestyle blog, family photos, a husband tagged in nearly every post, a perfect little life. And right now, she was inside my apartment, on my couch, on my bed, in the space I paid for. Chloe looked at me. What are you going to do? I stared at the screen, the timestamps glowing back at me like a confession no one planned on giving. I'm not confronting him, I said slowly. I took screenshots, every log, every timestamp. Because if Ryan thought telling me not to ask why would keep me in the dark, he had no idea what light was about to flood in. I sat there for a long moment, phone resting in my palm, feeling that strange hollow sensation that comes right before your life splits in two, before and after. Not shock, not tears. Clarity. Chloe watched me carefully. Elena, what are you thinking? I'm thinking, I said slowly, that if I were her husband, I'd want to know. She didn't argue. That's how I knew she understood exactly what kind of line I was about to cross. I went back to Lauren Pierce's profile. Her Instagram was public. A curated life of school drop-offs, birthday cakes, weekend hikes, and anniversary posts with captions like, "Still choosing you." Her husband's name was Mark Pierce. I clicked his profile. Finance professional, mid-40s, clean cut, wedding ring in every photo. The kind of man who looked like he believed his life was stable because he'd followed all the rules. I swallowed. This wasn't revenge. This was information. I gathered everything first, because if I was going to do this, I wasn't going to do it halfway. Screenshots of the smart lock logs. 7:46 p.m. Ryan Keller, resident. 8 o'clock p.m. Guest access. Screenshots of the building entry showing Lauren Pierce buzzed in. A photo of my lease with my name and address visible. Proof stacked neatly, unemotionally. Then I opened Instagram DMs and typed. I rewrote the message 3 times before sending it. Too angry felt manipulative. Too soft felt dismissive. I settled on the truth. Hi, Mark. You don't know me, and I'm truly sorry to contact you like this. My name is Elena Walsh. I live at address. My boyfriend asked me not to come home tonight, and when I checked my smart lock logs, I saw that Lauren entered my apartment this evening. I've attached screenshots so you can see the timestamps yourself. I thought you deserved to know. I'm sorry to be the one telling you. I stared at the message. Once I sent it, there was no undoing what would come next. I hit send at 9:22 p.m. Chloe exhaled slowly. That's going to blow up everything. I know, I said. And you're okay with that? I looked at my phone, the screen suddenly too bright in the dim room. No, I said honestly, but I'm okay with the truth. At 9:29 p.m., the message showed read. Nothing happened. No response, no typing bubble. Just silence. We turned on the TV for background noise, but neither of us followed the plot. I checked my phone every few minutes. Ryan hadn't texted, which told me everything. At 10:46 p.m., my phone buzzed. A new message. Mark Pierce, where is the apartment? My stomach dropped. I sent the address and apartment number. Less than a minute later, Mark, I'm on my way. Thank you for telling me. Chloe's eyes widened. He's going there? Right now, I said. Are you going to stop him? No, I said quietly. This isn't my confrontation to manage. At 11:02 p.m., my phone pinged again. A notification from the building security app. Main entrance accessed. Normal. People came and went all night. Then, 4 minutes later, hallway disturbance detected. Chloe's head snapped up. What was that? I didn't answer. She opened her laptop and pulled up the building's public security feed. One of her old clients lived there. She still had access. The grainy hallway camera loaded. We watched as a man, I knew without knowing, stormed down the hall and stopped in front of my apartment door. He knocked once. Hard. The door opened. Ryan appeared first. Then Lauren. She was wearing one of my oversized t-shirts. Even through the low-resolution feed, I saw the exact moment recognition hit her face. Her expression collapsed. Mark shoved past Ryan and stepped inside. The door stayed open. We couldn't hear words, only tone. Sharp, furious, uncontrolled. 30 seconds later, Ryan bolted out of the apartment, shoes in hand, shirt half-buttoned, sprinting toward the elevator like a man trying to outrun consequences. Lauren followed, screaming something we couldn't hear. Mark threw something. A shoe. It hit Ryan square between the shoulders. Then Mark turned back to Lauren. Whatever he said made her physically recoil. She stepped backward into my doorway like the floor had tilted under her. He walked away without looking back. Lauren stood there, frozen. Doors opened up and down the hall. Neighbors peered out. Phones lifted. My apartment door stayed wide open. Chloe whispered, "Oh my God." My phone buzzed. Ryan, where are you? I didn't answer. Ryan, Elena, please, I can explain. It's not what you think. I blocked his number. At 11:34 p.m., Mark messaged me again. Thank you. I needed to see it with my own eyes. I'm sorry this happened to you too. I stared at his words longer than I expected to. I'm sorry I had to tell you, I replied. Don't be, he said. Better to know. I set my phone face down. Whatever happened next was already in motion. I didn't sleep. Not really. I lay on Chloe's couch, staring at the ceiling while my mind replayed the hallway footage in brutal, looping detail. Lauren's face collapsing, Ryan running barefoot like a teenager caught sneaking out of a house that wasn't his, my apartment door hanging open like an exposed nerve. Every time I closed my eyes, I imagined what was happening inside my space after the cameras stopped recording. What they touched, what they said, how long this had really been going on. By morning, I felt hollowed out. Not crying, not angry, just scraped clean. At 9:58 a.m., my phone rang. Unknown number, I answered without thinking. Ms. Walsh, a man said. This is Kevin, the building manager at Brookline Lofts. We need to talk about last night. My stomach dropped. I wasn't there, I said automatically. I know, he replied, but it was your apartment. Several residents filed noise complaints, and your door was left open for quite some time. Left open? My boyfriend was there, I said. He can explain. There was a pause. Actually, Kevin said carefully, he's not there now, and the apartment is currently unsecured. We need you to come down and take a look. Something in his tone made my skin prickle. I'm on my way. The drive back felt surreal. The city looked exactly the same. People walking dogs, grabbing coffee, living ordinary lives, while mine felt like it had been peeled open. Kevin met me in the lobby, hands clasped awkwardly in front of him. Ms. Walsh, he said. I should warn you. There's been some property damage. What kind of damage? I asked. You should see it yourself. The elevator ride was silent. When we reached my floor, my apartment door was exactly where I'd left it the night before. Wide open. I stepped inside and stopped cold. It wasn't messy. It was violent. Picture frames smashed against the wall, couch cushions sliced open, stuffing spilling out like exposed nerves. My TV screen cracked straight down the middle. Kitchen drawers dumped out. Plates shattered across the floor. This wasn't a burglary, Kevin said quietly. This was emotional. I walked through the apartment like I was moving through someone else's life. My laptop, shattered. My work monitor, face down, screen spiderwebbed. The bookshelf, tipped over, books torn and bent. The bedroom was worse. The mattress had been slashed, clothes ripped from hangers, shredded, perfume bottles smashed into the carpet. I pressed my hand to the wall to steady myself. What happened? I whispered. The security footage shows the woman from last night leaving around midnight, Kevin said. But after 2 a.m., your boyfriend was seen on camera, throwing things, breaking items, crying, screaming. My chest tightened. He left around 4:15 a.m., Kevin continued. Hasn't returned. I laughed once. A sharp, humorless sound. So he destroyed my apartment because he got caught. Kevin nodded. There is a police report. Mrs. Pierce filed one for trespassing and disturbance. You're not named, but everything is documented. I walked into the bathroom. The mirror was cracked. I barely recognized the woman staring back at me. I want the locks changed, I said. Of course, Kevin replied. And if you want to pursue charges, I just want him gone. We changed the locks that afternoon. Chloe came over with cleaning supplies and gloves like we were preparing for a crime scene, which in a way, we were. Neighbors stopped by. Some to help, some to apologize, some to stare. Mrs. Chen from 4B knocked softly and handed me a flash drive. My doorbell camera caught everything, she said gently, in case you need it. The footage was crystal clear. Lauren arriving, the confrontation, and later, Ryan alone, methodically destroying my life one object at a time. Mrs. Chen shook her head. You both deserve better. At 3:40 p.m., my phone rang again. Different number. I knew it was him. Elena, Ryan said, voice hoarse. Please, I need to talk to you. You already did, I said. I made a mistake, he said quickly. One mistake. You planned it, I replied. You told me not to come home. You told me not to ask why. How long? Silence. Ryan. 3 months, he whispered. 3 months. I love you, he said. Lauren meant nothing. Then why did you destroy my apartment after her husband showed up? I was humiliated, he snapped. Everyone saw. You sent him there. You ruined everything. No, I said evenly. You ruined everything the first time you cheated on me in my home. He exhaled shakily. I hate you. Good, I said. Makes this easier. I hung up. Blocked the number. His remaining belongings were boxed and placed in the lobby with a deadline. I didn't cry that night. I just felt finished. By Thursday morning, the story had already grown legs. Not because I told it, but because buildings like ours are ecosystems. Sound travels. People talk. Security cameras don't forget. I heard updates the way you hear about a storm that's already passed through your house. Quietly, secondhand, with a strange sense of distance. Lauren Pierce's husband, Mark, filed for divorce within 48 hours. Someone in the building knew someone at his firm. Word spread that Mark had shown up at her office unannounced, not yelling, not dramatic, just calmly asking Lauren to explain herself in front of people she'd spent years curating an image for. Her wedding ring came off that same day. Ryan's consequences followed quickly after. He tried to come back on Wednesday evening. The new lock stopped him cold. He argued with the front desk, demanded access, claimed he lived there. Kevin didn't budge. You are no longer a resident, he told him. If you don't leave, we'll call the police. Ryan borrowed a stranger's phone and called me. I answered once. Elena, please, he said. I need my things. You destroyed most of them yourself, I replied. What's left is boxed in the lobby. Pick it up by Friday or I'll donate it. I was upset, he said. I panicked. You planned the affair, I said calmly. The panic came after you got caught. Silence. Then, softer. I thought you'd never find out. That's the part you got wrong, I said. I hung up. Blocked the number. Again. By Friday, the apartment was unrecognizable. Insurance adjusters, contractors, vacuum lines where broken glass used to be. The total damage came to just over $4,000. Insurance covered most of it. Ryan covered none. He never came for his things. I donated the clothes, recycled the broken electronics, threw away what smelled like regret. Mark messaged me one last time. I heard about the damage. I'm sorry. None of this is your fault. She made her choices, I replied. So did he. Thank you again, he wrote. You saved me from wasting more years. We didn't keep in touch after that. We didn't need to. 2 months later, my apartment was repaired. Fresh paint, new mattress, new locks. I started therapy, not because I felt broken, but because betrayal leaves residue you don't always see right away. I started dating again. Nothing serious. Just dinners. Conversations. Men who didn't tell me not to ask questions. Kevin told me one afternoon while handing me a package, "You know you're kind of a legend here, right?" Mrs. Chen brings me cookies every Sunday. She says I handled things with dignity. I don't know about dignity. I just know this. When Ryan told me not to come home and not to ask why, he was counting on my silence. On my trust. On my willingness to doubt myself instead of him. The smart lock logs didn't just show me who walked through my door. They showed me who didn't deserve to anymore. I didn't ruin anyone's life. I told the truth. And sometimes that's all it takes for consequences to finally arrive.